Ever felt like you're stuck in the middle of your life? You know the feeling. The one that hits you right between the eyes at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. You've been working hard, grinding every day, building that career, chasing success, and yet something feels off. The thrill is gone. You find yourself questioning, is this really it? Is this all I've been working for? Why does it feel like the best part of my life is behind me? Welcome to the world of the midlife crisis. Now, let's get something straight here. The midlife crisis isn't some vague, abstract idea thrown around in movies or sitcoms to make the characters seem quirky or over the hill. It's real, and it hits harder than a ton of bricks. So, what's really going on here? Is it a wake-up call from your soul telling you that it's time to make a change? Or is it just a convenient excuse for laziness and giving up on the hard work you've been doing for years? You know, the type of excuse that helps you justify quitting that job you hate, buying that shiny new car, or suddenly deciding that you're going to live for yourself now. Here's where it gets interesting. There are two sides to this coin, and they couldn't be more different. One side says, this is my chance for transformation, for self-realization, for becoming the person I was meant to be. The other side screams, it's too late for me. What's the point in trying anymore? I'm just too tired. But is that really true? Or is it just easier to settle into complacency than to make the necessary changes to get what we really want? The promise of change. The phrase midlife crisis is often spoken with a hint of judgment, as if you're some kind of failure for even thinking about it. Oh, you're having a midlife crisis? Must be nice to just throw it all away, huh? But here's the kicker. It's not always about throwing everything away. In fact, the most significant transformations happen precisely because you're asking the tough questions, facing the hard truths, and realizing that maybe, just maybe, you've been going down the wrong road for too long. Do you ever wonder if you've been chasing someone else's dream? You see, life isn't static, it's a journey. And sometimes that journey takes you down paths you didn't choose. Maybe you were pressured into that high-paying job you didn't love. Or perhaps you've been so focused on success that you lost sight of the things that really matter. Passion, joy, connection. In midlife, you can start to see those mistakes a lot more clearly, and suddenly everything feels like it's coming to a head. This is where the midlife crisis kicks in. This is where you have the chance to choose. Do you let this moment pass and keep going through the motions, or do you decide to take a radical shift and redefine what's important to you? Time to reassess your life. Take a moment. Seriously, think about the past 20 years. You've been putting in the work, but have you been putting in the work for yourself, or have you been chasing someone else's idea of success? The cars, the house, the promotions, they're all nice, but do they bring you happiness? That's the question. What brings you happiness? The midlife crisis isn't a crisis at all. It's a catalyst. It's the moment you stop accepting the idea that life just happens to you. It's the moment you realize that you can change things. You don't have to keep going down a path that makes you miserable. You can take a detour. You can start fresh. But here's the thing. It's hard. And that's what most people can't stand about it. The danger of complacency. If you let the midlife crisis take over, you can fall into the trap of complacency. You know, that voice inside your head that says, it's too late now. You've missed your chance. Just accept things as they are. It's the most dangerous voice you'll ever hear because it's a lie. It's the lie that keeps you stuck in a life that isn't fulfilling. And the scary part? People buy into that lie. They get comfortable, tell themselves they're too old, too tired, too stuck. But the reality is that you're never too old to make a change. Never too tired to chase something new. And you're never ever too stuck to break free from a life that doesn't make you happy. The reality check. Let's face it, you're probably stuck in your comfort zone right now. I get it. The bills need to be paid. The kids need you. Your partner needs you. But ask yourself, is this what you truly want? Or are you living the life someone else expected you to live? Are you still chasing the dream you had when you were 20? Or have you let the pressures of adulthood shape you into someone you don't recognize? The reality is, the midlife crisis isn't about being lazy. It's about being honest. Honest about what you really want, what you've missed, and where you're going next. It's about waking up and deciding, I want more from life. And then guess what? You deserve it. Take the leap. Let's talk about what happens when you take the leap. When you stop buying into the narrative of I'm too old, it's too late, I don't deserve more. When you start actively shaping the life you want rather than letting it happen to you. That's when things get interesting. Because here's the secret. Your midlife crisis, or whatever you want to call it, can be the best thing that ever happened to you. It can be your chance to finally live the life you've always dreamed of, the one that feels like you, the life that reflects your values, your passions, your purpose. But here's the catch. It's not going to happen on its own. You have to make it happen. Final thoughts. Embrace the journey, not the crisis. So what's the takeaway? A midlife crisis isn't some dramatic breakdown that happens to people who are just too tired of life. It's a transformation, a wake-up call, a moment of clarity. And when you stop seeing it as a crisis and start seeing it as an opportunity to create the life you want, everything changes. The people who get stuck are the ones who keep thinking they're too old, too tired, or too far gone to do anything about it. The ones who break free are the ones who say, you know what? I'm not done yet. There's more out there for me. I've got work to do. And I'm going to make the most of this time. What do you think? Could a midlife crisis be the best thing that ever happens to you? Or is it just an excuse to quit and coast? Let's keep talking about it. The conversation's just getting started. The hard truth. Facing your fears. Ever felt like you're on the edge, standing at the crossroads of your life, unsure of which path to take next? Yeah, me too. And here's the brutal truth. No one, and I mean no one, gets through life without facing their biggest fears. And when you hit that midlife moment, you're going to face them, whether you're ready or not. Fear, we've all been there. It's that nagging, suffocating feeling that keeps you up at night, questioning everything you've worked for. It's the thing that whispers, you're not good enough. You're too old. It's too late. And when you're at that crossroads in life, when you're staring down the barrel of a midlife crisis, that fear is going to be in your face. But here's the thing. Fear can either paralyze you or it can fuel you. So what will it be? Will you shrink back into your comfort zone and let fear win? Or will you stare it down and use it to drive you toward the life you really want? The fear of change. Let's face it, change is scary, especially when you've been doing the same thing for so long. You've built a life. You've climbed the ladder. You've ticked off all the boxes. But now you're questioning it all. You start wondering, is this it? Is this the best I can do? And that's when fear comes creeping in. The fear of what might happen if you make a change. The fear of what you'll lose. You might lose your job, your security, your sense of who you are. But what if just maybe you lose all of that by not making a change? Here's the kicker. Fear is normal. It's part of the human experience, but it doesn't have to control you. In fact, facing your fear head on is where the magic happens. The fear of failure. Here's the thing. When you're stuck in your midlife crisis, failure feels like the worst thing that could happen. You've spent years working, building, and doing everything right. But now you're starting to question it all. And that question comes with a heavy price. The fear of failure. But here's the truth. Failure is not the end of the road. It is part of the process. Everyone who has ever achieved anything worthwhile has failed. Failure is a lesson. It's not a stop sign. It's a detour sign. And if you let that fear of failure stop you from taking action, you're giving up on the chance to truly live the life you want. So are you going to let failure hold you back? Or are you going to look failure in the face and say, not today, not anymore? The fear of time running out. The clock is ticking. You can feel it. You start seeing the years fly by and you wonder, gosh, do I have enough time to do everything I've always wanted? And that, my friends, is the fear of time running out. You start comparing yourself to others, looking at people younger than you who seem to be doing everything right, achieving everything you didn't. And that comparison breeds fear. Fear of being too late, fear of missed opportunities. But here's the shocking truth. There is no timeline. There is no magic number that says you've run out of time. Time is not your enemy, it's your companion. The only real question is, what are you going to do with the time you have left? The fear of being misunderstood. One of the most paralyzing fears of all, especially in a midlife crisis, is the fear of being misunderstood. You've spent years building your life, your career, your relationships, and suddenly it feels like no one gets it. No one understands what you're going through, why you're questioning everything, or what you truly want. That loneliness is real. And it can make you feel like you're the only one. But guess what? You're not alone. Every single person who has ever gone through a midlife crisis has felt the exact same way. We're all in this together. So don't let that fear of being misunderstood keep you isolated. Speak up. Share your story. You might be surprised by how many people are going through the same thing. Your voice matters and your journey is worth sharing. Facing fear, the moment of truth. Here's the truth about fear. It's only as powerful as you let it be. Fear can either be the thing that holds you back for the rest of your life, or it can be the thing that pushes you to create the life you've always wanted. The choice is yours. The moment you decide to face your fear, whether it's the fear of failure, the fear of time running out, or the fear of being misunderstood, you free yourself. You unlock a new world of possibilities. So what are you going to do? Are you going to let fear control your life? Or are you going to rise above it, take action, and make the changes you've been too afraid to make? Final thoughts. Embrace the fear. Don't run from it. Fear doesn't have to be the enemy. In fact, it can be your greatest ally if you know how to use it. Fear means you're growing. Fear means you're challenging yourself. Fear means you're alive. So don't run from it. Embrace it. Let it fuel you to make the changes that will transform your life. Because here's the thing. You're not done yet. The best is yet to come, but only if you choose to face your fears and take that first step into the unknown. So what will you do? Fear is waiting for you to take control. Will you let it rule your life, or will you rise above it? Let's talk about it. I want to know, what fears are holding you back? What changes do you feel deep down you need to make, but haven't had the courage to take yet? Leave a comment below and let's start a conversation. You're not alone, and together we can take that leap of faith.